Imagine waking up in the dark, and
Mhm.
before your eyes even adjust, your body just registers this profound, cascading failure. Your joints are stiff, your chest feels heavy, and you've got this blinding headache just, you know, digging its heels into the base of your skull. Every single biological indicator is basically screaming at you to pull the covers up, power down, and just surrender to the pain. But instead, you force your legs over the edge of the bed, you push through those physiological protests, you drag yourself onto a bicycle, and you actually pedal your way into the morning traffic.
And I mean, to override that kind of biological mandate requires this staggering level of conviction.
Yeah, and that tension, that specific tension between a failing body and an unbreakable will is exactly where our deep dive begins today. Because the person on that bicycle is a teacher, Professor Cromwell Smith. Yep. And he is pedaling to work because his timeline is literally running out. He possesses this structural framework for living that simply must be archived. So our mission today is to conduct what's essentially a forensic analysis of the masterclass he delivers, which is in a text simply labeled Chapter 9. We're going to break down his highly mechanical protocol for dismantling resentment, auditing your own mental architecture, and, reclaiming your present,
He just tells them, treat each day as if it is your last.
which is heavy. And it frames everything that follows not as some, abstract philosophy, but as an urgent operational mandate. It's like, think about the grudges you are carrying today. Who is occupying space in your head? Maybe it's a professional slight that derailed your career trajectory, or a betrayal by a friend, or just some unresolved argument playing on a loop. You need to identify those specific toxic tenants who aren't paying rent.
She tells him that you have absolutely zero jurisdiction over the feelings or behaviors of other people. And to illustrate this, she introduces this concept of indelible ink.
Right, the indelible ink.
Yeah, she explains that every human being writes their daily life in a book that belongs exclusively to them, and they use ink that simply cannot be erased.
You're expending massive amounts of energy trying to scratch out the indelible ink in someone else's book, or demanding they hand over the pen so you can edit their pages.
The psychology of resentment is deeply rooted in this futile attempt to reclaim control over external variables. When we refuse to surrender our demand to edit someone else's book, we become trapped in these torturous, masochistic, and incredibly narrow corridors of our own minds. We get lost in a maze built entirely out of past tense events that physically no longer exist.
So if we are expending all our present-day energy navigating this labyrinth built out of yesterday's grievances, what happens to our timeline? Like, where does our future go? It argues that while the past comes for you based on the wrong things you did, the future will inevitably catch up with you based on what you failed to do in the present.